Just gonna read a bio from your book, from the stats on you from the Hall of Fame. Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. Today's guest is Danni Gomes, New Bedford High School Hall of Famer, my friend, my inspiration, your inspiration, another Bay Village kid doing the right thing. I hope she's. I hope y'all are here to listen and get inspired by her story, because I am, and I'm older than her, but I've been always proud of her. All right. Here's a few stats about this wonderful person. So three sport athlete, was a member of the school's first girls soccer team at New Bedford High School, and worked her way into the starting goaltender position her junior season. In that first season, she posted 6 shutouts and allowed a total of 12 goals in 14 games. In her senior year, she faced a total of 80 shots, 55 on net, and registered 9 shutouts, helping the team finish 9-2-4 and qualifying for the state tournament. Gomes was selected as an all-star both seasons. Her other sports were basketball and softball. Gomes starred in both. On the hardwood floor, she was a defensive standout, but had enough offensive ability to average 8.1 points a game and lead her team in assists. Statistically speaking, she was even better on the softball diamond, which I can attest, where she was the captain of an all-star second baseman, and she hit a 3-run home run and helped her team power to the state Division I championship. She finished her senior season with a 412 batting average, 2 doubles, 3 triples, 11 RBIs. Gomes went on to enroll in the University of Bridgeport, where she received a Bachelor of Science degree in dental hygiene. She currently is a dental hygienist in a private practice in New York and a clinical instructor at the New York University College of Dentistry Dental Hygiene Program and instructor at the New York City College of Technology Dental Assistant Program. Lastly, Gomes is the founder and director of ACI Resuscitation and founder and director of Creative Dental Connections. That's a mouthful. I need some water.
Thank you, Charlie. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. I really anticipated this once you had told me yes, and I was very, very happy, because you know what you are. You're a very impressive person, very good person, come from a good family that I love and adore. And so,
Thank you so much.
hopefully all those stats were on point. You know, I definitely the Creative Dental Connections is very, very impressive. I checked out a couple of your videos, and very, very
Hmm.
professional, and you're doing your thing.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
The only correction I have to say is ACI Resuscitation. I collaborated the two businesses. So I had two businesses and I condensed it into Creative Dental.
Very nice, very nice, very
Yep.
smart, very smart too. Keep all the money in one place.
Yes, you learn as you go along.
All right. So very in the very beginning of that introduction, it
Hmm.
talks about you playing for the first girls soccer team at New Bedford High School, which
Hmm.
is kind of amazing because New Bedford's really one of the sports in the city is soccer. So it's amazing that it took that long to play out at the high school level in this city.
Hmm.
Amazing. So was it helter skelter that first year? Were you guys,
So, I worked my way up to goalie. So all three sports, I was known as the defender. I was, defensive standout in pretty much every sport. I'd have to say basketball was my favorite sport.
Hmm.
but statistically speaking, I think I was better on the diamond.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, that girls' team was great. It's definitely great. And I now don't get me wrong. I mean, there's a I love basketball. I love the way you played the game. You know, you definitely was intense. And so no matter what, Danny was gonna go all out, 100%, do what she had to,
Yep.
and you know, win or lose, she definitely was always gonna be there doing her thing. So
And you know it.
yes,
And soccer, I actually played soccer just to stay in shape for basketball and softball. So
wow.
soccer wasn't my favorite. I
Hmm.
just did that just to continue, the physical,
Now was
fitness.
soccer coach, was it still Coach Mata rather? What was
Nope,
it?
that was the men's coach.
Oh, okay. So the girls
Ours was
coach.
Bob Parker,
You know what? I knew that.
Coach Parker.
I knew that. You know why? Oh my God, my memory's going. I did know that. I did know that. See that? Um, we got a few comments here, and one from Nathan Victor. Let's check it out here.
Hmm.
Um, says I remember being a kid and seeing her on the court at the club. I believe she played for the Vets. I was amazed the girl was playing with the boys. Remember at the time, we only saw girls at the club during summertime. So true.
Yep.
So true.
So Nathan, I was a trailblazer. So I was the first female to play on an all boys team. So I'm glad you
Sick.
remember that. Thanks for remembering me, Nathan. So I'll
I
tell
know.
you something. I used to hang out with my cousin Corey Gomes, and he's the one who took me to the Boys and Girls Club. And like David Consatio said not too long ago, the Boys and Girls Club,
Hmm.
as Bernie stressed, which we can't forget the girls.
Yeah.
So, yes, I was the only girl on the team, the first girl to ever play on the all boys team at the Boys and Girls Club. And it was very, very uncomfortable. I was a very shy kid, and it took me out of my comfort zone. And I'm still shy till this day, believe it or not. And when I tell my students that, they laugh, they don't believe me.
Hmm.
But do you remember me as a shy girl, Charlie?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And you know what? But if we could, I definitely know you as a shy girl. Um, but you were very, very always, good natured. There was no mean spirit in you. I love that about you. But you was shy, definitely.
Yes,
Um,
so I think that prepared me for what I do today, stepping out of my comfort zone.
hmm.
So you don't realize like what is this purpose? You know, even though I was uncomfortable, I still hung in there.
Yes, yeah,
Hi,
that's
Joey.
yeah, that's that's my man. Always there. That's it.
And I have to thank Rob Mendes for that, allowing me to be on the team.
Yeah, yeah. He does. There's one thing about Robbie, Mr. Mendes. What he does is he'll seek you out and he'll give you that encouragement. And he did that when my stepdaughter Shanae.
Hmm.
Shanae was just and he got her on the court and she played with the boys just like you did. And you know what? It just makes you just it. I don't want to say it makes you a better athlete. It just keeps you going, keeps you moving. Because just face it. If I put Danny Gomes on an all girls team with an all girls league at that time, at that age, you would have got no improvements, to tell you the truth, unless you were out there playing with Kathy Johnson, Bernie, Rhonda Dias. If you were playing with them all the time, you're going to
Mm-hmm.
improve. That's where you're going to improve. But if it was just a
Right.
league of girls in your age, you're not going to learn anything. You're just going to kind of dribble past them, run past them, so on and so forth. So, but
You're
and
funny.
speaking,
Hi, Ken. Hi, Ken.
yeah, that's it. Kelly,
Hey,
Kelly
Kelly.
Silva,
Hey, Kelly.
that's it. My girl too. I love her.
So yes, I want to say, to Kelly's daughter, Jayana, who, she's out there doing her thing now.
She is.
And, if the boys ain't passing you the ball, that type of thing, I've been there. I've been there. I've done that. It's uncomfortable, but there's a reason for it. It's only going to make you stronger. It's going to make you grow. So sometimes to get what you want in life, you have to step out of your comfort zone.
So
And that was
true.
the beginning for me, but I didn't realize it.
Yeah. And she's shy too, just like you are. So
Exactly.
I can't even get her on this podcast. If Kelly, let's put your daughter on this podcast. She, she probably, no, mommy, I don't want to do it. But she's definitely a good athlete. Cannot wait to see her at the higher levels. She's definitely going to be tremendous. So our friend Lynn says, "Hey, there's my girl Danny Gomes, another,
That's my girl Lynn. She was the manager on the basketball team,
yeah,
keeping everything in order
yeah,
for
she
the New Bedford
definitely."
High School basketball girls team. That was our manager right there, my girl Lynn.
Yeah, she
Friend
said
for
you're
life.
not. She said you're not shy anymore.
Oh, yes, I am. I still
uh,
have it in me. But in
yeah.
order to be successful, you have to step out of your comfort zone. It's a struggle.
What's this? Charlie, is that dentist by the beach on Rodney French Boulevard? Tracy? No, our girl Danny is living it up. She's in New York doing her thing, and you know what? She's living her dream. I'm so proud of her. The let me see here. I want to see something here. Well, anyways, let's get back to.
Hmm.
So now, go to college. Um, or you leave the high school.
Hmm.
Um, Before leaving, did you know what you were going to do? Was college something you were going to do, or was it, you know, thinking, senior year? What was your plans?
Yes. So before we leave high school, let's just talk about the state championship softball team, 1989. I was part of that state championship team. We had Donna Poyant as the pitcher, and she took us there, and that was like the most memorable moment of playing sports in high school. We had the police escort on the way home, and that was just a huge deal for us.
Yeah,
And that's something, I'll never forget. Those
that would.
memories, my teammates, they were awesome, amazing. Yes. But
I would.
moving on to college,
Well,
absolutely.
let me. Can I just add to it? Donna is
Yes.
another athlete that needs to come on the Really Charlie podcast, and
Hmm.
she's definitely doing some great things, especially now at Bridgewater. She's still doing great things for student athletes. She's definitely doing her thing. So, can I use your influence to get her on the Really Charlie podcast? Because I
Hmm.
call her mother, I call her father, I call her sister. Her brother's always out to sea, and but Donna doesn't talk to me for some reason. I don't know what it is. I'm only joking. So that actually that was the kind of right around that time that you guys, girls went to the state tournament. That's really was the start of many years of New Bedford High School going to state tournament. Well, we always go to the tournament, but that's when championships really started to flow for the next probably decade and a half, in different sports. Um, and so you guys, you girls started it off. You definitely started it off,
Hmm.
and should be proud of that.
Yes. So back to your question.
Yep.
Going on to college, yes, I knew when I left high school, I was accepted into Fones School of Dental Hygiene, which Alfred Fones was the founder of dental hygiene. So that was the first dental hygiene school.
Wow.
So yes, I knew where I was going. I knew what I was going to become, and there was no stopping me. When I was there, the Moonies came into the school. They took over. So half the school left, half the students. So the Moonies are coming, the Moonies are coming. They left, and
Yep.
I was a kid. I didn't know what that meant. I
Mhm.
wasn't going anywhere. I
Mhm.
stayed there, and it it was like, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm at this school. This is a great school, and this is where I'm graduating. So yes, absolutely.
Awesome.
4 years, graduated as a, dental hygienist.
That's good. And being so close to where you're at now, maybe that school was an influence to put you in that place where you're at now. I mean,
Yes,
to just
yes.
assuming. Okay, all right.
Well, of
So,
course, the friends that I met at the school, like Suzanne Devlin, she's the one, she needed a roommate, moved me to New Jersey. So it was like, there's no jobs in New Bedford. So I said, oh, I'm going to go over here. The first interview I went on, I landed the
hmm,
job.
wow.
First interview, landed it. So I was like, I'm in. Packed my bags. I said, okay, I'm going to get some experience and then I'm going to go back home.
Yes.
I never turned back, never went back.
Well,
I've been here
I
ever
mean,
since.
it's it's kind of it's kind of bittersweet. But we still get to see you, when you do drop in, and
Yeah,
that's
it's a
good.
short
But
ride. It's a short ride.
yeah, but
But
yeah,
my friends don't come and visit me.
well,
They don't come visit.
now I'm gonna
It's
go
the
see you.
greatest city in the world.
I'll
Greatest
go.
city in the world.
I'll go see you. There's one thing that we like my family. Me and my wife always going up that way. The family in New Jersey, definitely travel through there. Um, so
All
I'll
right,
make sure.
Charlie, I'm going to hold you to that.
No,
Everyone, you hear him?
hey, I'm a
They
man.
tell me they're coming all the time, Charlie. Listen,
Well,
we have it
uh,
recorded, so.
it's nope. I will be there definitely. Promise you that. The you so you start thinking about what you're gonna do,
Hmm.
um, and I'm glad that you're founder and director, and because you're the type of person I believe needs to be the one in charge, so you can kind of bring your personality, your constant professionalism, and kind of just spread it throughout the business, throughout. And so I'm glad that you're doing the things that you're doing, and
Hmm.
it shouldn't stop. You should continue doing what you're doing.
No,
Um,
absolutely.
yeah.
It
So
all starts from playing on the hardwood. So, as the point guard, you're leading the team, you're running the team.
yeah.
You see the whole court, right? You have this vision. You're directing people. Go this way, go that way.
Yeah.
This play, that play. So that's what I'm used to. So I'm good at directing.
Yes.
See, right now I'm directing, but I'm working my way to just be the director.
Yes.
Just be.
Now, will
So
you?
right now I'm juggling.
Yeah.
I should be in a circus because I'm juggling. I got a lot of balls in the air, but I'm working
um.
my way to director only.
Oh, you'll get there,
So I
without a
like to
doubt.
be I like to be behind the scenes. I don't like to be I'm not like you know, I like basically behind the scenes. I don't like to be front and center. I'm still that shy girl, Lynn.
Yeah. ain't Lynn, call me. You got my number. Call me. You want to share some stories on a Really Charlie podcast? Just let us know. Just call me real quick. By the time Danny gets to New Bedford, you can be secure and locked in the house. You'll be all set. All right. Shit. Lane's a good sport, good person. I remember going to a Red Sox game with her, and definitely, my girl got a. She's definitely a dear, loyal friend, and you and I both are gonna keep this wonderful teacher, which is another inspiration from New Bedford. She's a
Love your
great.
cuz, brother.
I
I
say
see you, brother.
another man, another good man. He's you know what? See, we just come from a good area. We come from a good city, and
Hmm.
some people can't say that they still keep in contact with their childhood friends. And for most of the part, we're able to keep in contact with them. Um, you know, those Bay Village kids. Or just those kids from the area and the community. Just that closeness, and so it's nice. And y'all better go.
Yes. Yes.
Y'all,
So, yes, your childhood friends are the best. So, I'm still friends with all of them. I lost contact with one friend. Exactly, Lynn. Exactly. I lost touch with one friend. I'm trying to get her back, but hopefully she'll watch the podcast and give me a chance. But,
uh,
uh, let me just say this, because some people on the cast here, they don't know, they hear Bay Village, they don't know what that is. So I just want to
mm,
be clear. I like to share my story that yes, I was raised in the Bay Village projects, which is the projects in New Bedford, Massachusetts, and I was raised by a in a single parent household. I like to make that part of my story so people understand. It doesn't take two parents. And,
mm,
part of most of my success comes from how I was raised from home.
yes,
So my mother gets all the credit. So my upbringing, along with my sports coupled, the two coupled together, is who I am today. Who I am today. I had stability in my life, discipline. I used to play basketball every day at Monty's Park. My mother said, "You can go to the park as long as you're on the court, but I don't want to see you sitting on that wall."
yes,
So I
yes.
think that was one of the best things she did for me, not allow me to sit on that wall.
So true.
So I was either doing something productive or I was home.
Yeah, right. Your mom is 5 stars and then some. Definitely a blessing. And I can't even tell you good things. I mean, she's always been sweet to me, good to me.
Hmm.
Um, she's the type of person that's going to say the hello to you when your back's turned, which says a lot for about a person because they
Hmm.
don't have to say hello to you. They don't have to, but she just makes it clearly. Hey, Charlie, I see you.
Hmm.
Um, and much respect for her. So
Thank you.
yeah. And let's see. Lynn says yes, definitely, Charlie. Love my friend. Yeah. What isn't there? What isn't there to love? Um, Danny. As you get to we're gonna go back to the high school because
Uh-huh.
I so as you're getting to the high school, try out for the basketball team. Um, I don't remember you playing JV. So did you go up to the varsity right away?
So no, I played JV, played for, Mickey Gonzalez. You had him on the podcast a few weeks ago.
Yes. He
And
still, you know what? He still has the highest views, and they keep viewing his podcast. There's people still coming back to it. So
wow.
yeah, it's amazing. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's fine. It's fine. But yes, I played for him. He was an amazing coach. I remember he told me, ball you man. He taught me that
Mm-hmm.
defense, ball you man.
Yeah.
Don't you let that man get in between you and the ball.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, I don't know. So when I went on to varsity, he said it. As soon as I went to shoot the ball, I took a shot. I was scoring 20 something points a game.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Bono said, don't shoot. That's not your role. Pass the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I had one of the greatest female athletes teammate, Kathy Silva,
Yeah.
my girl. We were the
Mm-hmm.
duel.
Yeah.
She was the offense and I was the defense. It was all about us, right?
Mm-hmm.
But everything, give Kathy the ball, give Kathy the ball, give Kathy the ball. Danny can shoot too.
Yeah.
So don't get it twisted. Danny can
Mm-hmm.
shoot too. So I was looking at my scrapbook prior to coming on.
Mm-hmm.
I was most valuable player, Whitman Hanson tournament. I was scoring 16 points. I led the team in assists, but pass, pass, pass. So when I got to varsity, I was more of the defensive player. So
Mm-hmm.
who inspired me was Flea,
Yes.
Jason Baptiste, the way he would steal the ball. Oh, I was trying to be him.
Yeah.
So that was Kathy and I would double team, steal the ball. I'd give it to her. Boom, you can count it.
Mm-hmm.
So those were the days. I miss those days. Oh
Yeah.
my goodness, I miss those days. And on the diamond, she was shortstop. I was second baseman. Just call us DP because we
Yeah.
were making double plays left and right.
Definitely. It's
I miss those days so
yeah.
much.
It's a great combination, especially from the hardwood to the field. The and Kathy was I was always amazed with
Phenomenal.
her. Yeah. And she later on went to refereeing.
Yep.
So when I was coaching, I think there was one game. I mean, she comes on the court. I said, I know who that is, but I didn't know her name. I'm like, I know who that is. I know. Then all of a sudden, the other coach spits it out. I said, that's right. I just said, I remember her from the high school, blah, blah, blah.
Uh-huh.
And, but another good athlete.
Oh yeah.
And,
One of the best.
yeah. So that, so you played all those years, and, that's not the first time. It's my podcast, so I could say what I have to. That's not the first time Coach Bono has done that to someone. So um, it's very, I definitely know that. Um,
Of course, back at that time, I didn't realize it because I'm just doing what I'm told to do,
yeah,
like my mother taught me.
yeah. And then when you was leaving your house to go play at that park, guess what? A lot of times you were shooting on your own. Whether it was on that second court, you were just shooting. You know, you wasn't passing to nobody. You was on the court to shoot the ball. So you're shooting, probably getting more repetitions than anybody else. On the team because you're doing it in the gym, you're doing it at the park, so on and so forth. But
But the whole thing is you're it's basketball. So the object of the game is to get the ball in the hoop.
yeah,
So you don't tell a good shooter not to shoot.
true.
And that just came to light when Mickey Gonzalez was on your podcast. And I'm happy to repeat it.
Yeah,
So it just goes to show, I mean, this is just how I feel personally, like just throughout life, like if you can read between the lines,
hmm,
people try to stop you, they try to hold you down, right?
yeah,
But no matter what, you have to keep moving. You have to keep moving. So
yes,
we can go on. We have plenty of time. Stories
yes,
when people try to stop you.
yeah,
But being an athlete, you learn. You win some, you lose some, right?
hmm,
It shapes you as a person.
yes,
It shapes you as a person. Hard work, determination. Like look at Tom Brady, all the rings he has.
hmm,
Do you think he got those rings from going home after practice and watching reality shows?
yeah. Just
That
hard
man
work.
studies. He studies the opposing team's plays.
Yeah.
So when they're lined up, he knows what to call. So it's all about working hard.
Yeah. And the it's one thing that the grit that you have to have sometimes, especially back then. Just have to have that because you see things, you sense things very quickly, especially where we came from. You definitely
Hmm.
know when things are not too straight and forward. They're just not. It just doesn't seem right. And but on a good note,
On a
we're
good
gonna
note, I would like
let's see.
to say thank you to Coach Soares and Wayne Hamlet, Coach Hamlet, right? So Coach Soares made me co-captain of the softball team.
Hmm.
So he recognized, you know, we don't only have one leader here, we have two leaders. And I appreciate that he recognized that back then.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
those some real dudes. I had of
Absolutely.
you know um, Kenny didn't coach me in any sport, but Coach Hamlet did, and you know, but I definitely know the person that Coach Shores is, and tremendous conversations, throughout the years. But Coach Hamlet, he wasn't going to be in a way any athlete. He was going to be the one that was going to encourage you, and I know he did that for you.
Absolutely.
So
Yes. Love you, Chandre.
yeah, another good one. Chandre, where you been? I haven't seen you, haven't heard from you. Um, Another blessing from the Bay Village.
And one
Let's
thing about Coach Soares, it was about the grades. You have to get good grades. Okay. And one thing about playing sports, if you don't go to school, you don't go to practice. You don't go to practice, you don't play in the game.
so
And when
true.
you find your passion, you're passionate about something. I wasn't skipping school. Ask Chandre, ask Kelly, they're here. Ask them if I ever skipped school with them. Never. Because I wanted to play in that game because I was part of a team and I was dedicated.
Yeah.
Dedicated.
So Chandre and Kelly skip school.
Ask them.
Uh,
Chandra's
Lu-
in Maryland.
hey,
Eh.
Louise ain't on the screen yet, so they'll get away with it for a little while. Good girls. Uh, she said, no, you didn't. She's supposed to say, is really Charlie? I love it. I love it. So, um, talk to me about some games with Bernadette Souza.
So Bernie was an inspiration for me.
Hmm.
She was the good female athlete on the court. So that's who I was pretty much following, Bernie.
Hmm.
Yep.
You guys were just building away. That was the great thing about it. And but she's another one. Something in that water up on that section over there. It was good water. So the now as you're doing, you you got all this athletic ability in you. You have a great mind, doing a lot of good things. Um, did you have a coach during this time, or during after leaving high school? Was you a coach at all? Did you think about doing it?
Being a coach, I would say yes. Right now, I feel like I'm a coach. Coach in athletics, no. But
Yeah,
coaching my students, I'm a coach in the dental field.
yeah.
So I would love to be a basketball coach, but that is not the direction that I went in. But
Hmm.
everything I do, when I'm teaching CPR classes, I'm coaching them. I'm telling them how to do it. So I'm coaching them on how to save someone's life.
Yes.
I'm coaching my students on how to land that job. I'm coaching my dental hygiene students on how to remove that buildup off the teeth.
Yep.
So basically, I feel like I'm a coach. I am a coach, but in a different element.
Yes. Yes, you are. You're doing great. I love that video where you were able to, you know, talk about, the cancer, with the woman that called you after the seminar. I can't think of the speaker's
Hmm.
name, but
Yep.
in that in itself, is very um, interesting story. It's a very well. Let me see. People shortchange seminars sometimes.
Hmm.
Sometimes you're there and you're speaking for someone in the audience just because they just don't know how to speak, or you're actually bringing out some information that could be helpful to different people in that audience. In
Right.
that particular video, you definitely was doing that, um, and I'm glad that they reached out to you because you know anything in the head area and cancer doesn't have a good outlook, or outcome rather. So I'm glad that you were able to kind of
Hmm.
help that situation out.
See, here's the thing, like you said, like I'm doing an event, don't really know why I'm doing this event, but turns out that it turns out that, this girl had this lesion on her tongue for years and ignored it. And wait till you see what I post tomorrow. Wait till
Okay,
you see. Wait
I,
till you see.
I can't
As
wait.
dental professionals, we have to do thorough head and neck exams. If we don't do it, who will?
Yeah, exactly. And
So
and I
wait till
want
you see
every
the post tomorrow.
go. I
Thank you,
want every,
Kim.
yeah, I want everybody to kind of follow Danny Gomes at Creative Dental Connections on Facebook. Follow her. Continue to support. Continue to get educated as you listen and learn and read the different posts on that site to help yourself, to help out a family member. Continue to follow this great person, this great professional. Always, constantly a professional, and I just want y'all to continue to support her like we're going to support her on the Really Charlie podcast. Everything that you post, Danny Gomes, will go on my podcast group, and I will continue to share it from this day forward, only because it's helpful, and also because you're a guest here. And I want to continue to bring on that inspiration, just like I'm trying to do now, to bring up, you know, you're bringing out some inspiration, giving out some educational stuff for everyone. And I know you're going to continue to do that. So that's why I'm going to continue to be kind of trolling your page and seeing what you have and just kind of sharing it. And
Thank you, Charlie.
it has to happen. It has to happen. You're welcome. Um, let's see. So what's the next move in your life? What are you going to try to do professionally? You know.
So the next move in my life, so this week coming up, I'm presenting to the American Dental Hygienists Association for the state of Maryland, Montgomery County.
Wow.
So I'm going to be talking about identifying orofacial myofunctional disorders from infancy all the way to adulthood.
Wow.
So that that's a passion of mine. Like finding just I want to prevent this disorders. As dental hygienists, we're prevention specialists. So if we're not identifying these things by looking in the patient's mouth, as well as dentists, who will?
Yes.
There are people out there who need help. When I tell them about things, they're like, no one has ever told me this before. But there's a lack of consistency.
Yes.
So everyone has to get on board. Everyone. So my passion is with the infants. So if we can identify it early on, because once people become adults, they don't want to take care. They're like, oh, I've been like this all my life.
Yeah.
So it's harder. to help an adult. But children, parents always want to help their children.
So true.
So starting from the infants, oh, I can't wait for this presentation on Thursday. I can't wait.
Good.
I can't wait.
I can't
So
wait either.
starting, so this is, this is only the beginning. So this is the first presentation I'll be presenting to the American Dental Hygienists Association, and hopefully, it will continue in other counties and across the nation. So that's my plan. And my, long-term goal is to be a motivational speaker. This little shy girl who's grown, who's a grown woman now,
Yeah,
eventually would like to be a motivational speaker and help those. I want to help people, save people's lives. When I hear, not to change the subject, but when I hear of someone choking, I was just telling my students this last night. Someone chokes and dies at a barbecue.
yeah,
That is just like, I can't fathom that. Like, no one at the barbecue knew how to do the Heimlich maneuver. My mission is to make sure that no one dies from choking ever
yeah.
again. So I'm going to be training instructors to become people to become CPR instructors. So the more
Awesome.
instructors we have, the more people we can reach.
Makes a lot of sense. Sure does. And it's so true. And when you kind of look at it, it's the hardest thing about CPR is actually, to me, is it's just getting rid of that nervousness, you know. And but when you kind of get involved in it and you're starting to do it, you know what you're doing. You're trying to save someone's life. Someone needs you. Someone needs you right away. So
Immediately.
do all that you can.
Yep.
And when you do, when someone does recover and becomes, or begins to work on their own, that's unbelievable. That's a great story. That's a great feeling. Um, but
Hmm.
that's what you're meant to do. You're meant to. So I'm gonna actually. I always try to. I talk to Paul Gomes Jr., who also does this. He's always trying to get people certified and in CPR, and so he's
Hmm.
always trying to do that just like you do. So if you're looking to someone to kind of do some work around this area, he's definitely doing it. And
Hmm.
so let me see, Kendall, your fam says hello.
So, yeah, I want to say hi, Kendall. So I want to say, we had a tragedy in my family uh, when I was a kid. Okay, actually, it was Kendall's brother who passed away at a family reunion from drowning.
Hmm.
Now I was a kid. I already left, but I'd never want anyone to experience the pain that my family has gone through.
Yes,
So if people know how to do CPR, they could save someone. Like I said, I don't really know the story. I was a kid. I wasn't there. Obviously, CPR was performed too late. If anyone did CPR, I don't
hmm,
remember because it was when I was a kid.
yes,
But that's another reason why I want to get people trained on how to do this so no one has to experience this. Because you have to begin right away.
yeah,
But what people do is they take a while. They call 911, they call other people instead of just doing it. So
so
that's
true.
one of my missions. Not to mention, dental.
Yeah, and it's
Mhm.
well, you're going to Maryland, so that means Chandre's going to be cooking for you, right?
The plan was to go and spend some time with my BFF,
Yeah,
but it's now going to be online. The course is online via Zoom.
okay.
Hmm.
Well,
But
the
hopefully, eventually, I'll be traveling the country soon.
yes, and do all you can. Anything coming from Danny Gomes is definitely going to be tremendous, and I can't wait to hear all your stories. And I hope that you're journalizing everything that you're possibly doing because, just because you got the Hall of Fame a long, long time ago. Not too long, but
You
a
know,
long
the
time.
the 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 Hall of Fame award. That's the first award I received.
Yeah.
All these years,
Yeah.
all this hard work,
It's
2016. It wasn't too long ago.
yeah, and it's uh, well, someone has to introduce you to the committee to review everything that you possibly accomplished in that school.
Yes,
But I don't know
absolutely.
what took so long. Why it take so long? Why did
I
it
don't
take
know.
so long?
Maybe they ran out of people to give the award to, and then they say, "Hey, Danny Gomes." No, I'm just kidding.
Not true. Not true at all. You
Hi,
definitely,
Boo.
yeah. That's
That's
my
my
man.
nephew.
Yeah, that kid was big out of the crib, man. My man, love him. Miss his father. Definitely somebody I miss real well.
Yeah, he's the next veterinarian.
All right,
Uh
you
huh.
know he'll do it. He'll
Yep.
do it. Always proud of him. Um, let's see. So I have probably about 15 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to, what do you want to talk about, Danny Gomes? And what's something that's on your mind that I haven't brought out or that we haven't brought out in this podcast?
Mm-hmm. Well, let me tell you how I got to be an entrepreneur. So it started when I was a kid.
Hmm.
Chandra and Kelly would like this one. Selling lemonade outside. Lemonade stand. I sold lemonade. My mother taught me, you have to work for what for that dollar. So
Hmm.
doing chores around the house. Nowadays, people just give their children whatever they want. And that's not helping your child to succeed in life,
So
giving them
true.
whatever they want. They have to be taught how to work for it. So I had a lemonade stand. I was a paper girl. I was a
Hmm.
bus girl. I took care of people with disabilities, right? Now, when I'm as a dental hygienist in private practice, those are like my favorite patients. People that cannot do for themselves because like flossing somebody's teeth who can't floss themselves, that's that's what motivates me.
Hmm.
But people that can floss in their own that don't do it, my hygienists out there, I'm sure I can get some witnesses. It's just not the same, right?
Yeah.
So I went to Haiti a few years ago. These people will walk 2 hours from the other side of the island just to get a free floss and a toothbrush. They would walk. They had nothing.
Wow.
They have nothing. And here in America, we have it all.
Yes.
And we don't put it to use. We don't use it.
Amazing.
How often do you floss? I tell my students to ask their patients, how often do you brush? Because people, not how many times a day, because some people don't brush every day.
Hmm.
And they will tell you they do not. So, on that note, where was I? I was talking about all these jobs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I lost my, I forgot where I
Did
was
you
at.
uh, ki-
Oh,
just people working
people with
and
disabilities, yada, yada, yada. Yeah.
yeah.
So I want to talk about how everything I do, I love what I do. So I love treating my patients. I love taking care of them, right? I love to see them progress. They come back 3 months later, 4, 6 months later, and they've improved. I love that because to
Yeah.
me, I did my job educating them.
Yes.
Teaching is my passion. I love my students. I forget when I'm teaching, sometimes I forget that I'm at work. So I get comfortable sometimes. I get a little loose. We have a little
Hmm.
fun,
Yep.
you know. I try to stay physically fit. So at the end of the day, I have two students of mine, we walk the stairs. We go from the basement to the 11th floor.
Wow.
So they don't know I'm bringing them with me in case I collapse. There's somebody there. When they're not there, I do it by myself and there's no one in the staircase. And I'm like, where is everyone? I
Yeah.
collapse, I'm in trouble. But
Hmm.
yeah, we go from the basement to the 11th floor back down to the 8th floor. And we
That's
do that
awesome.
under 4 minutes.
That's awesome.
But
I love
yeah,
it.
we're hustlers.
So,
Where Chandra said hustling.
yeah, she's. I love it.
But yeah, I was
It's
saying
not.
how I'm passionate about teaching. And then
So
the best thing of all is being an entrepreneur. Waking up and working for yourself is absolutely amazing.
hmm
And it doesn't feel like you're working when you find that thing that's just your thing.
yeah,
It doesn't feel like you're working. So people think, oh, you work too hard, you're doing this, you do that. Guess what? In order to be successful, you have to work hard
yeah,
and you cannot give up. You can't give up.
it's awesome. It I can't I can't disagree with you because it's the truth. It's nothing but the truth. And as you know as you're working with people, I'm pretty sure there's students that actually say, "Hey, I just want to be like you. Just want to be like you, Danny. I want to be like you." What do you tell them when they're coming up to you like that? And I know it's not on a yearly basis. It's probably on a monthly basis, weekly basis that someone's saying
No,
that
they
they
don't
want.
tell, no, they don't tell me they want to be like me. Mm-mm,
It's
no.
hard to believe. That's very hard to believe. Like, like really, Danny? They don't.
But going back to the people with disabilities, my students, that's my passion. I love the ones that are just seeing patients for the first time. I love like the underdogs because I like to watch them grow. I like the ones that are hungry, that want it, because I'm I'm going to take them to wherever they want to go. You want to learn how to take this off the patient's teeth? You want to learn this? You want to learn that? Let's do this. So I
Yeah,
love students that have passion for what they do.
awesome.
Mhm.
That's great. Um, we definitely got to continue to do this. And I want you to know that when you want to come on this podcast for any reason whatsoever, whether it's you're doing a CPR class um, in your area or this area, whatever you may be doing, subject you want to talk about that people are just not educated about, please just send me a message, let me know, and we'll do whatever we have to help out, creative dental connections in any kind of way. Um, and so I wanna offer that to you right now before I forget that
Mhm.
I'm definitely here for you and your company. Um,
Thank you.
Now, I ask this all the time to my guests. Who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
Who would I like to see? I would like to see someone who probably won't come on.
I
Tony Esteves. Tony Esteves.
I
Because
I
that man deserves an award.
I asked him. I talked to him. I talked to him right here where I'm sitting, and because I knew and I know very well what type of person he is, and because of him, I got into coaching, and I'll never forget that. But the stories that I heard over the years, kids that came in through the middle school, or met me on the street, or did this or that, it always led to Tony. But I know how he is. He doesn't want any pats on his back. He's just a very genuine dude, and but I like to see that too. And if I got to brainstorm, and I think what I'm going to do is just gather a bunch of people in the area in a gym on the bleachers, and we're just going to talk about Tony Estevs if he doesn't come on here. I'm still
So
working on it.
yep. I'll say Kathy Silva. I'd love to see Kathy Silva.
Yep. I'm going to work on that, and I'm going to work on it as soon as tonight. and try to get in touch with her some way, shape, or form, and let her know, because I have some dates in May that I like to fill, and Kathy's definitely a great candidate to get on the Really Charlie podcast.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm still working on Bernadette. She's told me give her a date, so we're gonna work on that one too.
Nice.
And I can't wait to talk about her. She inspired a book
Mm-hmm.
that I wrote, a children's book. It's called The Clubhouse. It's all completed other than the illustrations, but that's going to be eventually coming out, and that's all due to Bernadette Souza. So I can't wait to get that done and completed.
Nice.
Yeah. So, my friend, you're one of the best, whether you want to hear it or not. And
Nope.
and,
I
and
don't believe it.
it wouldn't have took me till 2016 to elect you into the Hall of Fame at New Bedford High School. It would have happened a long time ago. But anyways, please, if you see any of your family soon, please tell them that God bless and I love them. And also, I want you to
Well,
continue to be the educational and inspirational person that you are. And there's going to be bigger and better things. Bigger and not better, because you're doing great things now. But there's going to be some other things in your life that we're going to continue to be proud of you.
yes,
And
Charlie, because this is only the beginning. This is
yes, it
only
is.
the beginning. I
Yes,
love
it
it
is.
when people say, "Oh, are you still doing CPR stuff?" Like, still doing? This is only the beginning.
Yeah, yeah. You're gonna definitely make us proud. You
Only the
already
beginning.
always. I love it. Just
If those of you who are not following Creative Dental Connections, be sure to follow.
and
And I appreciate all the support that I can get. If you can share some of my posts quickly, just hit a share. You never know who that will inspire or help. I'd
exactly.
appreciate that.
I can't wait for your next video. Cannot wait. Um, well, all right, my friend. I got another podcast to do right behind you, and
Okay.
uh,
Well, thanks for having me.
all right. A million words are not enough for you, and let's do this again, please.
I will.
All right, and I'll let you know when we travel to your fabulous state. I will text you, do whatever I have to. I don't care if I see you for 2 minutes. I'm definitely gonna
All
make
right,
sure
Charlie, I'm holding you to it.
I love you.
All right, love you, Charlie.
Take care and God
All
bless.
right.
All
Thank
right.
you. All right,
You're
God
welcome.
bless.
Bye bye.
All right, bye.
My girl, Danni Gomes. Very, very proud of that woman. That constant professional. I mean, look at it. Look what she's doing. You can't help but be inspired by that. So do exactly what she said. Follow her on Creative Dental Connections. Look for her on Facebook. Share those videos. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3 times a month. Just share those videos, because it's going to reach someone. Like she already reached someone during a speaking engagement. She reached someone, and that person's life was saved. And she's probably doing that countless times over the years rather. And I mean, look, people that she's working with are on the screen. They're commenting. We're very proud of her. So follow that young lady, because she's definitely one of the best. She may not admit it, but I'm gonna admit it for her. All right. All right, everyone. Always follow and listen and view the Really Charlie podcast on StreamYard, Facebook, YouTube. I'm always here. Every few days I'm on with a nice, fabulous guest, educational, inspirational stories. I'm going to shut down the studio, and I'll be on in a few minutes with our next guest, which will be Renee Ledbetter. one of the best advocates for the city of New Bedford when it comes to the youth. Please, please, stay tuned and come back to the Really Charlie podcast in a couple of minutes. Mask those beautiful faces, hand sanitize your hands, and wash your hands. Stay safe, everybody. God bless. Stay blessed.